Ladies won't admit this publicly, but there are 3 words a man can say that completely disarm us. It's not, "I love you." It's not, "You're beautiful." When a confident man says these 3 words, we lose our composure. We start overthinking. We wonder about him for days. Most men have no idea this power exists. But the few who do, they never have to chase us. We chase them. And I'm about to reveal exactly what those words are. Before I dive into this, I need you to do something for me. Hit that like button right now, because what I'm about to share goes against everything you've been told about attraction. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because I reveal secrets like this regularly. Secrets that most women would never admit out loud. And drop a comment telling me if you've ever experienced what I'm about to describe. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll understand female psychology in a way that will change your interactions with women forever. Let me start by telling you something most women will never say out loud. We're not actually attracted to the things men think we're attracted to. You've been fed lies your entire life. Society tells you that women want the guy with the perfect body, the expensive car, the smooth pickup lines. And yes, those things might catch our eye for a split second, but they don't make us lose sleep. They don't make us replay conversations in our minds at 3 in the morning. They don't make us feel that deep, primal pull that we can't explain to our friends. What does? It's the subtle things. The quiet confidence. The way a man carries himself when he thinks no one's watching. The energy he brings into a room without saying a word. And most powerfully, it's specific words said at specific moments that create an emotional earthquake inside us that we can't control. I'm a woman, and I'm about to break the code for you. I'm going to tell you exactly what happens inside our minds, our bodies, our emotions, when a man understands this power. This isn't about manipulation. This is about understanding the raw, honest truth about female desire that women themselves often don't fully understand until it hits them. The psychology behind female attraction. Let me paint you a picture of how female attraction actually works, because it's completely different from how men experience desire. When you see an attractive woman, your attraction is often immediate and visual. You see her curves, her smile, her eyes, and something clicks instantly. For us, it's different. Our attraction builds in layers. It's psychological, emotional, and physical, all tangled together in ways that are hard to separate. We feel attraction in our bodies first, before our minds catch up. It starts as a flutter in our chest when you say something unexpected. It's the warmth that spreads through us when you hold eye contact just a second longer than feels comfortable. It's the way our breathing changes when you lean in close enough that we can smell your skin. Our bodies respond to masculine energy in ways that bypass our logical thinking entirely. Here's what happens physically when a woman is truly attracted to a man. Our pupils dilate. Our skin becomes more sensitive. We unconsciously mirror your body language. We touch our hair, our neck, our collarbone, exposing vulnerable areas because our body is literally preparing itself for intimacy before our conscious mind has even decided if we like you. That's how powerful this attraction is. It's primal. But physical attraction alone? That fades. Every woman knows this. We've met gorgeous men who became completely unattractive the moment they opened their mouths. We've dated men who looked perfect on paper but left us feeling empty. Because what we're really craving, what keeps us awake at night thinking about a man, is something deeper. We want to feel something we can't find anywhere else. We want a man who makes us feel safe enough to be vulnerable, but excited enough to feel alive. We want someone who sees through our walls without us having to explain ourselves. We want a man who can hold space for our emotions without being consumed by them. And when a man demonstrates these qualities through his words, his energy, his presence, that's when we become completely captivated. Why traditional advice fails. The problem is, most men are getting terrible advice about how to attract women. You're told to compliment us constantly, to agree with everything we say, to be available whenever we need you, to prove your worth through grand gestures. And all of that pushes us away. Why? Because it reeks of desperation. When a man is too eager, too available, too focused on winning our approval, it tells us something crucial about his value. It tells us he doesn't have other options. It tells us his confidence depends on our validation. It tells us he's willing to abandon himself to keep us happy. And none of that is attractive. We want a man who has a life, a purpose, a mission that exists independently of us. We want someone who would be perfectly fine without us, but chooses to include us in his world. That's the energy that makes us obsessed. When you don't need us, but you want us, that's intoxicating. When your world keeps turning whether we're in it or not, we want to become part of that world. Think about the men women actually lose their minds over. They're not the ones sending good morning texts every day. They're not the ones who rearrange their entire schedule at a moment's notice. They're the ones who create space, who maintain mystery, who show interest but never desperation. They're the men who understand that attraction isn't built through constant attention, it's built through emotional tension. The power of emotional control. Let me tell you what happens when a man shows emotional control around us. It's magnetic in a way I can barely describe. When we're upset, emotional, maybe even testing you with drama, and you remain calm, centered, unshaken, something shifts inside us. Our bodies relax, our defenses lower. We feel this overwhelming sense of safety because your stability becomes our anchor. Most men fail this test completely. They either react with their own emotions, matching our energy and escalating the situation, or they shut down and withdraw, leaving us feeling abandoned. But the man who can stay present, who can listen without needing to fix, who can hold eye contact and breathe deeply while we express ourselves, that man becomes irresistible. Why? Because emotional control is the ultimate display of masculine strength. Any man can lift weights or make money, but a man who can remain grounded when emotions run high, who can be the oak tree while we're the storm, that's rare. That's powerful. That makes us feel things we can't even put into words. When you demonstrate this level of emotional mastery, we start to trust you with parts of ourselves we don't show anyone else. We let our guard down. We soften. We begin to crave your presence because being around you feels different from being around anyone else. You become the place where we can finally exhale. The 3 words that change everything. Now let me reveal what you've been waiting for. The 3 words that completely disarm women. The words that make us replay conversations, that make us wonder what you meant, that make us suddenly hyper-aware of your presence in a way we can't shake. Are you ready? The 3 words are, I see you. Not, I love you, not, you're beautiful, but I see you. Let me explain why these 3 simple words have such devastating power over the female psyche. When a man says, I see you, at the right moment, with the right energy, he's communicating something that goes far beyond the surface. He's telling us that he understands us on a level that most people never reach. He's saying that he recognizes who we really are beneath all the masks we wear, all the defenses we put up, all the roles we play. Women spend our entire lives feeling misunderstood. We're constantly told to be one thing by society, another thing by our families, something else entirely by the men we date. We're too emotional, or not emotional enough, too ambitious or not driven enough, too independent or too needy. We're drowning in conflicting expectations, and most of the time, we feel like no one truly understands the real person beneath all of that. But when a man looks at us, really looks at us, and says, I see you, with genuine presence and awareness, it penetrates straight through every defense we have. It tells us that he's not just attracted to our body or charmed by our personality. He actually understands the depth of who we are. And that level of being seen, of being truly recognized, is so rare and so powerful that it creates an instant emotional bond. How to use these words effectively. But here's the crucial part. You can't just throw these words around randomly and expect them to work. The power isn't in the words themselves. It's in the moment you choose to say them and the energy you carry when you do. The right moment to say, "I see you," is when she's revealing something vulnerable. Maybe she's told you about a fear she doesn't usually share. Maybe she's explained why she reacts a certain way because of something from her past. Maybe she's shown you a side of herself that she normally keeps hidden. In that moment of vulnerability, when she's wondering if you'll judge her or reject her or misunderstand her, that's when you look directly into her eyes and calmly say, "I see you." The energy has to be grounded and certain. This isn't a question. It's not tentative or seeking approval. It's a statement of fact, delivered with quiet confidence. Your body language matters. Maintain steady eye contact. Keep your breathing slow and deep. Don't rush to fill the silence that follows. Let the words land and resonate. What happens in her body when you do this correctly? Everything we talked about earlier intensifies. Her heart rate increases. Her skin flushes. She might break eye contact and look down, overwhelmed by the intimacy of the moment. She might laugh nervously or change the subject because the feeling is so intense it scares her. But inside, something fundamental has shifted. You've just created an emotional imprint that she won't forget. From that moment forward, she'll think about you differently. When she's lying in bed at night, your face will appear in her mind. When she's going about her day, she'll wonder what you're doing. When other men try to talk to her, she'll compare them to you and find them lacking, because they don't make her feel the way you do. You've planted a seed of obsession, and it will grow. The follow-through that seals the deal. But saying the words is only the beginning. What you do after is what separates the men who truly understand this from the ones who just stumbled onto something powerful by accident. The follow-through is everything. After you've said, "I see you," and created that moment of intense connection, you need to do something that seems counterintuitive. You need to give her space. Don't immediately try to capitalize on the emotional intensity. Don't push for physical escalation right away. Let the moment breathe. Let her sit with the feeling. This is where most men mess up. They sense the shift in energy and immediately try to leverage it. They start texting more, calling more, trying to spend more time together, and all of that dilutes the power of what just happened. Remember, attraction builds in the space between interactions. When she has time to think about you, to replay that moment in her mind, to wonder what you're doing and who you're with, that's when the obsession deepens. Your next interaction should be intentional, but not eager. When you see her again, maintain the same grounded energy. Show consistency in your presence. Don't bring up the vulnerable moment she shared unless she does. Let her know through your calm confidence that you're not going to use her vulnerability against her or make her feel self-conscious about it. This builds trust in a way that makes her want to open up to you even more. Pay attention to the subtle signs that she's thinking about you. She'll find reasons to be near you. She'll initiate conversations more often. She'll mirror your body language even more than before. She'll test you in small ways to see if you'll maintain your frame or if you'll crack and start chasing. Every time you pass these tests by remaining centered and non-reactive, her attraction intensifies. Advanced techniques that amplify attraction. Now that you understand the foundation, let me share some advanced techniques that amplify the effect exponentially. These are subtle moves that most men never notice, but they create powerful emotional responses in women. First, learn to use silence as a tool. After creating an intimate moment, don't feel the need to fill every pause with words. Comfortable silence between two people creates a sense of deep connection. It allows emotions to settle and deepen. When you can sit with a woman in silence without any awkwardness or need to perform, it communicates a level of confidence and presence that's incredibly rare. Second, use physical touch strategically and sparingly. I'm not talking about groping or aggressive moves. I'm talking about brief, intentional touches that send electricity through our bodies. A hand on the small of her back as you guide her through a door. Your fingers brushing her arm when you're making a point in conversation. Tucking a strand of hair behind her ear when it falls in her face. These micro touches, done with confidence and without lingering, create anticipation and desire. Third, challenge her intellectually and emotionally. Women are bored by men who just agree with everything we say. When you have your own opinions and you express them calmly and confidently, even if they differ from ours, it's stimulating. It shows you're not trying to win our approval by becoming a yes man. You're secure enough in yourself to disagree while still being respectful. That's incredibly attractive. Fourth, demonstrate leadership without being controlling. Take charge of planning dates, making decisions, and creating experiences, but do it in a way that considers her preferences and makes her feel valued. The balance between strength and consideration is what we're looking for. A man who can confidently say, "I've got this," while also asking for our input is someone we want to follow. Fifth, maintain your own life and interests. Nothing kills attraction faster than a man who abandons everything else to focus entirely on us. Keep your friendships, pursue your goals, have hobbies and passions that exist independently of the relationship. When we see that you have a full, rich life, we want to be part of it. When we see that we're your entire life, we feel suffocated and start pulling away. What happens when you master this? When you truly master these principles, when you understand how to create attraction through presence, emotional control, strategic vulnerability, and perfect timing, your entire experience with women transforms. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop hoping she'll like you and start knowing your value. You stop playing games and start creating genuine connection. Women will notice the difference immediately. The way you carry yourself, the energy you project, the confidence in your movements and words, all of it communicates that you're not like other men. You don't need their validation. You're not desperate for their attention. You're offering something rare and valuable, and if they're smart, they'll recognize it. You'll start to notice women going out of their way to be near you. They'll initiate conversations. They'll find excuses to touch you. They'll laugh harder at your jokes. They'll remember small details you mentioned in passing. They'll ask their friends about you. They'll check your social media. They'll drop hints about wanting to see you again. All because you've triggered something deep inside them that they can't control and don't fully understand. And the beautiful part? The more you embody these principles, the less you'll need to think about them consciously. They'll become part of who you are. Your presence will naturally create attraction. Your words will naturally create connection. Your energy will naturally draw people to you. It stops being a technique and becomes your authentic way of moving through the world. The dark side women won't admit. Now, let me share something most women would never admit publicly. When a man truly masters this level of presence and emotional control, we sometimes find ourselves attracted to him even when we know we shouldn't be, even when we're in relationships with other men, even when we've told ourselves we're not looking for anyone. The attraction operates at such a primal level that it bypasses our logical decision-making. I'm not saying this to encourage you to pursue women in relationships. I'm telling you this so you understand the true power of what I'm teaching you. When you create this level of attraction, it's not something a woman can simply decide to turn off. It's not a conscious choice. Her body and emotions respond to you in ways she can't control. This is why emotional control and integrity matter so much. With this power comes responsibility. You can use these techniques to create genuine connection and build something meaningful. Or you can use them recklessly and leave emotional damage in your wake. The choice is yours, but understand that what you're learning here is not a toy. It's real psychological leverage that can deeply affect people. The moment everything clicks. There will come a moment when you see all of this click into place. You'll be with a woman and you'll say those 3 words, "I see you," at exactly the right moment, with exactly the right energy, and you'll watch her entire demeanor change. You'll see her pupils dilate. You'll see her breath catch. You'll see her defenses melt away. You'll see her look at you like she's seeing you for the first time, like she's suddenly aware of something she hadn't noticed before. In that moment, you'll feel the shift in power. Not power over her, but power within yourself. You'll realize that attraction isn't something you beg for or convince someone to feel. It's something you create through your presence, your awareness, and your understanding of human psychology. You'll understand that the right words at the right moment can change everything. And once you've experienced that shift, once you've seen the direct cause and effect between your words and her response, you'll never look at interactions with women the same way again. You'll start noticing all the subtle cues she's giving you. You'll read her body language like a book. You'll know exactly when to push forward and when to pull back. You'll move through dating and relationships with a level of confidence and clarity that most men never achieve. Final truth. Let me leave you with one final truth. Everything I've shared with you today works because it's based on genuine human connection. These aren't manipulation tactics designed to trick women into feeling something fake. They're insights into what women actually respond to when we strip away all the social conditioning and get down to raw human psychology. We want to feel seen, understood, and valued by a man who is secure enough in himself that he doesn't need our validation. We want someone who can create emotional safety while maintaining an edge of excitement. We want a man who says what he means and means what he says. And when you become that man, when you embody these principles authentically, you don't just attract women. You become attractive as a complete human being. The 3 words, "I see you," work because they represent something we're all desperately searching for: genuine recognition and understanding. When you can offer that to someone while maintaining your own center, your own purpose, your own life, that's when you become truly irresistible. So I'll ask you now, are you ready to step into this power? Are you ready to stop chasing and start attracting? Are you ready to understand women in a way that changes everything? Your next steps. If what I've shared today resonates with you, if you're serious about mastering the psychology of attraction and becoming the kind of man women can't stop thinking about, then I need you to do 3 things right now. First, smash that like button if this video opened your eyes to something you've never fully understood before. Your like tells me to keep creating content like this, content that reveals the raw truth about female psychology that most people are too afraid to discuss. Second, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. I regularly share insights like this, breaking down the unspoken rules of attraction, the subtle psychological triggers that create desire, and the honest truths that women think but rarely say out loud. If you don't subscribe, you'll miss the advanced techniques I'll be sharing in upcoming videos. Techniques that take what you learned today to an entirely different level. Third, and this is crucial, drop a comment below. Tell me, have you ever used these 3 words with a woman? What was her response? Or tell me about a time when you felt truly seen by someone and how powerful that feeling was. Share your experiences, your questions, your thoughts. The comment section is where we build a community of men who are committed to genuine self-improvement and understanding, not cheap tricks or manipulation. And if you really want to go deeper, if you're serious about transforming not just how you interact with women, but how you move through the world as a confident, centered man, check out the link in the description. That's where I share the advanced material, the techniques and insights that go far beyond what I can cover in a single video. Remember, the 3 words are "I see you." But the real power isn't in the words themselves. It's in becoming the kind of man who truly sees people, who understands human psychology, who moves through life with presence and purpose. That's what makes you unforgettable. That's what makes women chase you. That's what changes everything. Now go out there and use this wisely. Create genuine connection. Build something real. And most importantly, never forget your own value in the process. I'll see you in the next one.